millet pond is looking really good. Everything really brown you see is Japanese millet that is fully matured out, seeded, and the deer have been bedding in here, knocking it all down. Well, all the green you see is volunteer smartweed. And I could not be happier with the weed that decided to volunteer in here, because ducks love smartweed, and we got a lot of it. The millet we planted early on is really getting knocked down and bedded down on by the deer, but there is a tremendous amount of seed in here. So although it's not standing, there's a lot of seed. With 3 inches of rain coming, we're going to close the valve, start getting some water in here for the October wood duck season that is exactly 3 weeks away. A lot of these heads look stripped, which was concerning me. The songbirds were doing it. But when I look down in here on the ground, it's all on the ground. There's a tremendous amount of seed in here. So some of it's leaning over, some of it's already knocked on the ground, some of it's still standing up here. But that second round of seeding I did about 2 weeks after is just now heading out really nicely. So that shows you the benefit of coming here and reseeding any areas that didn't take off the first time. We got first seeding browning out, the second seeding going to seed just now. So this is great. We're gonna have plenty of food staggered in here that should last at least until the October season, if not on into November. You may recall a third round of seeding that was done as the water level dropped. We've been in a severe drought here, and I don't think that third round of seeding is ever gonna make out. It's got a lot of growing to do to make it to maturity, to growing ahead on it. But the second round of seeding was certainly worth the effort. We've got some really nice millet heads here. Smartweed is fantastic duck food, and I'll show you why. If you grab a head, kind of peel it apart, you'll see a little black speck in there. That black speck is a seed, and that seed is really high in calories, and ducks love it. So smartweed is a fantastic weed to be volunteering in here. Just picking a random spot here, as I look down, we've got just clusters of seed head on the ground here. So the second the water gets up in here, there's going to be a lot of available food for these ducks. Let's go close the valve. Let's get some water put on this food. Got 3 inches of rain coming with this hurricane. I don't know if we're going to fill this pond up or not. I really don't want it to fill completely up because I want to save a lot of this food for later in the season. But we'll take what the Lord gives us. We can't control what comes in here, but we can control what goes out. To show you how much of a drought we're in right now, the invert of the turn down on this pipe right here is actually the very bottom of the pond. This is the lowest elevation the drain can drain this pond down to. And we're actually sitting about 8 to 10 inches below that lowest point elevation. We beat the brush to get down in here. So the way this system is set up, this is a bottom drain that connects to that turn up you saw on the front side. And we've just got a ball valve in here. So all we have to do to close this thing off is just a 90-degree turn. Pond drain is closed. Time to flood some food. We'll see what this hurricane does for us, but they're calling for 3 inches over the course of 3 days. I don't know if that's going to be enough runoff to really fill the pond up, but it certainly will give it a bump. We'll come back out here after the rain event and see where we are. Dad said he's been seeing about a dozen wood ducks when he's in here deer hunting. He said most of them come in and land in the big water hole, but a few of them come over here and land in the small water hole, and they jump back and forth. So we started off with a pair when I originally walked out here. Now we're up to a dozen, and we still got 3 weeks to go until early season. In here checking on the millet pond a couple of days after Hurricane Ian has moved through, we ended up with 4 inches of rain in the gauge, and that ended up equating to about an 8 to 10 inch water level bump out here at the farm pond where the millet is. The landowner prepared me that this watershed doesn't receive a lot of runoff and that it would take a good heavy rainstorm to fill the pond up. Well, he was correct. We only got about an 8 to 10 inch bump out of 4 inches of rainfall. Some rain is certainly better than none, so we'll take it. We've got water starting to creep up into the millet now, so we do have water on food, and you can tell this upper end is a little deeper as well. So we'll take what the Lord gave us, and hopefully the next update will be the ducks in here finding this food. But until then, take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.